The Acolyte's fifth episode is definitely its best. I think that's pretty much widely agreed upon by most people, fans and detractors. Those who are still watching but hate it, like me. I don't hate it. Okay, I don't hate The Acolyte. I just really don't like it. There's a difference. I don't feel any feelings of hate towards this show. I just feel like it could be so much better with a little more love dedicated to the writing and the script. So the fifth episode, though, is pretty good, just because it has quite a bit of good action. There's a lot of fun lightsaber battles. We get the reveal of the Sith. He even calls himself a Sith. It is Qimir, which is what I and a lot of other people thought it was Qimir. It wasn't exactly hard to guess. Though there was some concern that it would be like Osha and May's, one of their mothers, and that was something I didn't think would be the case, but they kind of trick you into thinking it when Osha talks about how her mom knew how to get into Jedi's heads. So that's apparently something that the Sith does to them. So great action, a lot of fun lightsaber fights. They kill off a couple characters. Yord, the himbo Jedi, not a very smart guy, not a very brave guy, not a very likable character, and he gets killed off. Also, Jackie Lon, who is the alien Padawan, she's killed off. I liked her character. I like Daphne Keane, the actress who played her. I think it was a little silly how much of a fight she put in when all these other Jedi are just killed off in like 3 seconds. But whatever. I'm going to talk about kind of how I would have done this all differently in a minute. It was cool how Qimir stabs her 3 times, boom, 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 in a triangle through the chest, just to be like, yeah, she's not coming back. I think this was actually kind of a clever nod to both how in Obi-Wan and in Ahsoka, people are stabbed through the chest with a lightsaber, but then revive in a Bacta tank and are not actually dead. They're only mostly dead. So I think I actually kind of like how they're like, pop, pop, pop. No, we're killing off this character for real. So that was cool. I really think that Manny Jacinto, who played, is doing a great job. I saw the drinker call him Discount Ezra Miller, who plays the Flash. I don't think that's fair. For one thing, he doesn't look. I don't think he looks like him, other than he kind of has long hair like him. I don't know. Like Manny, he's Asian for one thing, and he's from The Good Place, which is a wonderful show, and he plays such a dummy on that show. I mean, he's really genuinely so stupid.
Yeah, and I'm freaking out, dog. There's so much thoughts in my brain. It's like my head is filled with rocks.
I love that he's now playing this very deceptive, evil. I mean, evil, right? Yeah, he's a killer. He says he has to kill all of them, although he fails at that, which I'll get to in a minute, and how that's kind of annoying. Yes, did I want him to kill all the good guys off this episode? No, I didn't want that, but I think they could have gone a little more in that direction. Even though, yeah, he kills a lot of them. First, he kills Kilnaka off screen, which is a bad move because it would have been cool to see a Jedi Wookiee fighting. But then he kills, all the other Jedi, and not just the extras, but Yord and Jackie, which I think was actually a pretty ballsy move for this show. I wasn't expecting it. And I'm glad that they did it. Like, there are some things in this episode that show promise, and I just think if they'd leaned into that stuff more, and if the series had been as good as this episode up till now, then it would have been okay. It would have been an okay show if it was as good as this episode, but I think it could have been a lot better with just some more love to the script. What I didn't like about this episode was kind of all the other stuff. First of all, killing off those Jedi. There were several Jedi that are just killed off so quickly. These are trained Jedi, not Padawans, full Jedi. And they're just killed off so fast. And then, of course, the Padawan comes in and puts up way more of a fight. Now, I get it. She's a named character, someone we care about, so it makes sense to have her put up a good fight. But, why even have these other Jedi? We don't care about them. They haven't taken any time to establish them as characters who we should even give a shit about. I talk about this in my written review at Forbes. All they had to do last episode is, instead of making it 28 minutes long, is make it 40 minutes long and spend some time with these Jedi that are going to this planet. Give them real personalities. Let us get to know them a little bit. Then kill them off, right? Come on. I mean, they did that with Yord, they did that with Jackie, so they didn't have to go as much into these other Jedi, but like, if you're gonna bring them along and just have them get killed, here's 3 ideas. 1, give them personalities, give them character, and then give them like a fight, right? Give them a real fight. Sure, their lightsabers are taken out of commission. Well, they've got the fucking Force, man. Use it. And have him still win. You know, that just makes him more of a badass, but they're just killed so easily. 2, replace them with just grunts. Don't have Soul bring all these Jedi. Just have him bring some Republic soldiers. And then when these Republic soldiers are killed really fast, we don't think twice because that's just how it goes. You know, it's like when a Jedi tears through stormtroopers. Same thing. A Sith tears through some normal soldiers. We don't think twice. But having him just kill these Jedi so fast that we don't even get to know, it's like, what? That just makes Jedis extras, and that's silly. Like, I don't want Jedis to be extras, right? They're powerful. They're trained. They know they're not idiots, and they made them look like idiots. So, third option, just don't have that many characters there. Just have Sol and Yord and Jackie arrive, and instead of killing Kelnaka off screen, have them meeting with him when the Sith shows up, right? Maybe he gets attacked by May or something, okay, no, I'm not going to go there. But let's just leave May out of this for now because I'm going to talk about that in a second. But then Kelnaka, let's say, okay, Sith shows up. It's Kelnaka, Jackie, Yord, and Sol, right? And Osha. He flings Osha out of the way. He force bursts the other ones. A couple of them are like knocked unconscious. So then he's fighting 1-on-2, Kelnaka and Jackie. He fights them. He kills both of them. Yord and Sol come up and they're like telling Osha to run. So she runs. Then they fight him. Now, in my version of this, okay, in this segment, is that he kills Yord and he leaves Sol for dead. He thinks Sol's dead, but Sol's not dead. And then he chases after Osha. Now, in my version of this story, with these Jedi dead or taken out of action, in the case of Sol, then we have a whole segment devoted to him hunting down Osha in the jungles of Kofar. And this, you could lean really heavily into sort of horror elements, right? You could have this whole like most dangerous game style thing, right? She's going through the jungle. She's being hunted by a much more powerful adversary, trying to get back to the ship so that she can go to Coruscant and warn the Jedi Order about this new evil. Now, I don't know where to go from there because I don't really know what the rest of the story is, but I think you could have a really cool segment where she's just trying to get away and it's a lot of tension built up and he's hunting her down. What happens instead is Sol pretty much beats him and he's going to kill him with his lightsaber, and Osha's like, Sol, don't do that. We don't strike down unarmed opponents or whatever. And I just think, okay, fine, maybe, but you should at least knock him out or put those little cuffs on him or something, because he literally just killed like 6 Jedi, right? He just killed all of these people, and you're gonna let him just fight you again? It's just so stupid. It makes no sense. And also, the way that they finish this episode, that they actually like stop him, is Osha puts Pip on his back. She sticks Pip to his back and has his light come on, and then those big moth alien things come down and pick him up and take him away. This allows her to survive. Sol is knocked out. But these moths are attracted to light, but they've been having a lightsaber duel with flashing lights that make a bunch of noise, and they never came down, even though they were attracted to just one lightsaber earlier in the last week's episode, and they never come down until this little light gets. That's so dumb. This is the thing about this show, is like, even in a good episode where there's like exciting lightsaber battles and fun stuff to watch, and it's entertaining, and I do think that the Sith is a really interesting character. I like his zipper face mask thing. I'm thinking he's maybe a predecessor to the Knights of Ren, or like the origin story of that or something. I wouldn't be surprised. But even with all the good stuff, there's just so much frustrating, plot-holey, convoluted bullshit, and just cringy moments, right? So that the light them getting flown off, and then Osha and May like meet up, and they start heading out together, and at one point Osha tries to arrest her, even though she knows she's outgunned by her. May has killed a Jedi. She is more powerful than Osha, and Osha thinks that just by grabbing her arm and like putting her in a lock, she's gonna stop her. And at every turn, everyone's always like talking about what they're gonna do. When Jackie tries to arrest May earlier, instead of just fucking locking her up, she keeps talking about what she's arresting her for, giving her opportunities to leave. The Sith monologues like crazy, just like so. Oh, it's like, I'm sorry, but villains monologuing has become something that audiences laugh about at this point. Because it's just so... It's just happened so many times throughout the decades of cinema. It's a joke now. Don't put that in your script in a show that you're trying to have, serious. At least if he's going to monologue, have him do it during the fight or something. Not like at a point where he has the upper hand and then loses it because he's monologuing. May, of course, does overtake Osha at this point and knocks her out and then takes her lightsaber and cuts her hair so that it's as short and looks just like Osha's hair. Now, this is hilarious because we've already had this become like the running gag of this show, the Acolyte having two twins with virtually identical hair. Of course, May's hair has always had these longer strands, but now it's identical and they're doing the Parent Trap. She takes her identity and goes back to Seoul. First of all, if you cut your hair with a lightsaber, I'm assuming it burns it, singes it quite badly, which would make your hair stink like burned hair, which is a gross smell and very, very potent, pungent, right? So that would be on her. Also, I don't think it would look good. Like if you're burning your hair off, it's not going to look all pristine. It won't look like Osha's hair unless you cut it. And even then, I'm not sure with the way they've got it braided, if that would even work. More to the point, Jedi Master Soul is a Jedi Master. Surely he would sense that May and Osha are different people just through using the Force. I mean, even just like passively using the Force. Now, okay, maybe he's rattled from getting all messed up and getting hit with a blast, stun, right? And he's just in a big fight, and so he's all out of sorts. But come on, he's a Jedi Master, man. Like, Basil, the little alien, smells the difference on her, right? So he knows that there's something up, but I don't know that he can actually talk beyond just screeching. So, but Basil, the little alien, is apparently more powerful than Jedi Master Soul. What doesn't work for me about this whole show more than anything else is the story of the twins. The twin shit is the gimmickiest bullshit in this show. Here's what I would have done. Here's what I would have done using the basic building blocks of the Acolyte, not just starting from scratch. You don't have twins. You just have Osha. Not May, just Osha, right? It is the Sith who's going around and killing the Jedi. The Sith shows up and kills Indara. The Sith shows up and kills Torben, or whatever his name is, the hovering, meditating monk Jedi. And it is the Sith that kills Kelnaka. Then you have him leave Soul for dead. He hunts down Osha and he captures her. And he tells her what really happened to her people. Now, since we don't have the twin nonsense anymore, we never have the stupid stuff with May trying to burn her sister alive, which was horrible. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't fit with anything else in the show. You have him somehow tied to this. Maybe one of the mothers survived and trained him in the Force and taught him about the evil of the Jedi, and he got his sort of Sith training from one of these witches, or she knew of another hidden Sith master, and he trained this guy, and now he's looking for an Acolyte, and he turns Osha when she realizes the truth, which is that the Jedi ended up killing her people because they were dark side. And then Osha turns and becomes the Acolyte, right? Maybe it doesn't happen right away. He maybe takes her back, and maybe she doesn't even turn until Soul shows up to rescue her and admits that everything that she was told is actually the truth, right? And I don't know what all that is exactly, but that's what I would do. Then you have, instead of all this twin gimmicky crap, you have Osha go from a good guy to a bad guy, right? And she becomes the Acolyte and a bad Sith. There's always this redemption arc for these characters, right? Like, I think May is going to go to the light side in the end. That's my guess. I think it'd be much more interesting if a character that started out good went the other way around. I guess that sort of mirrors Anakin in a way, but still, I think it'd be more interesting. It would also, eventually I would say I would have this end where Sol is killed and nobody learns about the Sith. And they win in the end. And season 1 ends with the Jedi still not knowing what happened to all their Jedi that they sent to Kofar. I don't know. I think that'd be more interesting and be pretty dark and a nice change of tone and whatnot for this show or for this franchise. I mean, Andor's very dark, but we haven't had we haven't had kind of an unhappy ending in one of the TV shows yet. So that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like this episode, it just suffers from the weight of the first 4 episodes. The first half of the show was pretty clunky and pretty bad. And this episode, while better, is still tied down to this really cumbersome story that's just gimmicky. Now we're entering Parent Trap territory, which is extremely stupid. I don't mind, some people I've seen complaining about the lightsaber thing where he's taking those out of commission or he headbutts a lightsaber with his helmet, which I think must be Beskar steel or something. I don't know. Something that can deflect and disrupt a lightsaber, which I think is cool. I think that's a cool addition. I think it's awesome, if there's counters to these overpowered Jedi, right? But even when this show is sort of elevated to a much more exciting episode, it still suffers from all of that. And just the lack of really getting us to care about these characters. And I mean, I think I did like Jackie Lawn and I like that actress. And so I was surprised when they killed her off. I was surprised when they killed Yord off, even though I really don't like his character. And if they kill off Sol, I think that would also be great. I like Sol, but, I think we never really got to know most of the characters who were killed off so far, like Indara, Carrie-Anne Moss's character, like Kelnaka the Wookiee. Those characters we should have gotten to know better before they were killed off, and then we would care more. And I think so much time has been spent with this stupid twin plot that we haven't been able to focus on all the cool stuff that could be going on. And just cutting that to Osha rather than Osha and May would solve that problem, I think. A lot of the problem, anyways. You'd have to get rid of that stupid Power of One chant also, but I'm probably missing some things that happen in the episode as I talk about all this, but overall, strong action, goofy plot. Strong action, goofy dialogue. The writing is just not there. And there's some good decisions, like how they killed Jackie off, the 3-pronged thing. That was cool, and I respect that. And I like I actually don't even mind the sets. I've seen people complaining about the sets. It's sort of this cramped, obvious movie set rather than a jungle, you're in Avatar or something. It's clearly a jungle. I kind of like it. It feels sort of retro. I like the old movies where it's this is a set. Dagoba's a set, but it's obvious it's a set, but it's whatever. I love Hook. The pirate ships and the Lost Boys area are obviously sets. I kind of like that. I think it's kind of fun. You got to lean into that, though. You got to make up your mind about what kind of show you're making here. Is it a dark, serious show that we're supposed to take seriously, or is it kind of a goofy kid show that we're supposed to not take seriously? What are we trying to do here? The tone of this show is all over the place, straight down to the costumes and sets. So, 3 more episodes. These short ones are not doing it any favors because there's not enough time to establish character, to get us involved in the places and the people. 3 more episodes. How are they going to wrap this up? I do not have high hopes. What did you think? Do you agree this is a better episode, or was it just still too dumb for you to get into it? I mean, it's kind of both for me. At this point, this was a dumb action episode. And if this was all this show was dumb action episodes, maybe I could get behind it. But it's trying to be more, and it doesn't know what it wants to be, and it's a mess. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment down below. Peace.